That mysterious radio station in the Stranger Things Season 5 teasers isn't just background decoration. WSQK 94.5 FM has been hiding in plain sight from posters to set photos to behind-the-scenes footage. This radio station is going to be a weapon against Vecna, but first... WSQK is a fictional local FM radio station based in Hawkins, Indiana. It's brand new to the series. There's been no mention of it in any of the first 4 seasons, which makes its sudden prominence in the Season 5 marketing so intriguing. In reality, the WSQK building is a custom set that the production team built in Chattahoochee Hills, Georgia. They chose a spot in an open field which gives it that slightly isolated small town feel. That kind of location is perfect for a station tower looming in the background. The set design leans heavily into late 80s FM radio culture. Now, if you lived at this time, you should know FM radio is more than just background noise. It was a cultural anchor. Stations weren't just playing music. They were shaping trends, building communities, and giving listeners a shared soundtrack to their lives. DJs had real personality, and their voices felt like friends speaking directly into your living room or car. Local stations in particular had a big role in defining the vibe of a town, from the music they chose to the way they covered news and local events. For teenagers, FM radio was a lifeline. No Spotify, no YouTube. If you wanted new music, you tuned in. You stayed up late for special shows, recorded songs on cassette tapes, and called in to request your favorite tracks. Stations also aired weird late-night segments, which include conspiracy theories, ghost stories, and listener call-ins, all of which fit right into Stranger Things, because it has a mix of small-town life and supernatural mystery. From the brick exterior to the painted lightning bolt logo, everything looks like it belongs in 1987, which is exactly when Season 5 is set. It feels authentic without being flashy. The production didn't just stop outside. Through behind-the-scenes shots, you can tell the interior is packed with period-correct details. Cassette tapes stacked on shelves, microphones with chunky foam covers, reel-to-reel tape decks, and a big control board all help sell the illusion. That attention to detail is what Stranger Things does best. Just like the arcade in Season 2 or Family Video in Season 4, WSQK has its own lived-in personality. It doesn't feel like a fake TV set. Rather, it feels like a real place in Hawkins where someone's been spinning records for years. And while Hawkins might be small, a radio station here makes sense. Back in the 80s, local FM was the hub for music, news, and a little gossip, basically the heartbeat of the community. This isn't just a side quest. WSQK might be the gang's new headquarters. Now, from the footage we've seen so far, WSQK isn't just a random building the kids run past. It's actually where Steve Harrington and Robin Buckley host a radio show called The Squawk. Yes, The Squawk. The name alone already feels like classic Hawkins humor. But here's where it gets interesting. The Squawk might be more than a comedic subplot. The tone in some of the shots hints at this being a central hub for the group's plans. If the town is still dealing with the aftermath of the earthquake from Season 4, then having access to the airwaves could be a big deal. This opens up a lot of possibilities. Maybe Steve and Robin use their airtime to drop coded messages to the rest of the gang. Maybe they play songs that have a very specific effect, something we'll get into in a bit. Or maybe the show starts as light-hearted fun and slowly turns into a lifeline for Hawkins residents. We've seen Stranger Things do this before. Give a location a seemingly harmless purpose, then turn it into the center of the action. Think of the school in Season 1 or a Starcore Mall in Season 3. And honestly, if any two characters were going to be the voices of Hawkins in the middle of a supernatural crisis, Steve and Robin feel perfect for the job. If you watch Season 4, you know music is more than just background in this story. Max's life was literally saved because running up that hill could break Vecna's hold on her. That detail wasn't just a one-time plot device. It's a rule in this world now. So it makes sense for fans to speculate that WSQK might be used to broadcast protective songs to the entire town. Instead of having to hand each person a Walkman and a cassette, they could flood Hawkins with music all at once. If Vecna tries to get inside people's heads again, hearing the right song on WSQK could snap them out of it. It's an idea that would make perfect use of the radio station's reach. There's also the possibility of using the airwaves to send coded signals to other characters. Think about it. Messages disguised as casual DJ chatter or song requests could keep the group tipping off the wrong people. This wouldn't just be a clever plot move. It would tie directly back to one of the most memorable beats from the previous season, giving us that satisfying sense of continuity Stranger Things is known for. The Duffers didn't build this place for a single throwaway scene. One thing that stands out about WSQK is the scale of the set. This isn't a small, one-room build. The station looks complete from the outside and inside, which usually means the location is going to show up in multiple episodes. Behind-the-scenes shots show the Duffer brothers with headsets on, leaning into their displays. You can spot walls lined with tapes, flyers pinned to corkboards, and even an on-air sign glowing red. These aren't props thrown together, they're crafted to match the era exactly. There's also plenty of local flavor in the design. Posters for fake Hawkins bands, made-up event announcements, and a station logo that looks like it's been around since the late 70s. It's world building through tiny details. Even the broadcast equipment looks heavy and worn in a way that makes it believable. Those old reel-to-reel tape decks and analog boards aren't just for show. They make the whole space feel authentic. If the Duffers went through this much trouble, it's a safe bet that we'll be spending real time here in the season. Locations like this usually to become a kind of home base for at least part of the story. Here's the deal. Setting a big piece of the plot in a radio station fits perfectly with the show's late 80s timeline. In 1987, local radio was still king. It's how small towns got their music, heard about community events, and found out if bad weather or something much worse was on the way. Adding WSQK to Hawkins just feels natural. It's the kind of place you can imagine existing right down the road from Melville's General Store or the high school. It adds to the town's personality while giving the story a functional tool. There's also a great tradition in 80s horror of the radio DJ as an important figure. Movies like The Fog used a DJ character to warn townspeople about danger while building tension. Stranger Things has always been full of these subtle nods to classic genre films, so this could be one more. It's smart world building too. A radio station allows the writers to connect different parts of Hawkins instantly without constantly cutting between phone calls and in-person meetings. If you're deep into Stranger Things theories like this, make sure you hit subscribe because we've got more hidden season 5 details coming, and some of them are even stranger than this. And with the Duffers calling this their biggest and most ambitious season, it's hard not to wonder what WSQK will be broadcasting when the stakes are at their highest. One of the most exciting theories about WSQK is that it could be the team's main communication hub in Season 5. Hawkins is a mess after the Season 4 finale, and if phone lines are unreliable or dangerous to use, radio might be the safest way to coordinate. The station could give them a direct line to each other without risking someone overhearing on the wrong side. It could also work as a signal disruption tool. If the Upside Down's influencing the real world through certain frequencies, WSQK could counter that by sending out interference. The Duffers have shown us before that sound matters in this universe, so blasting the right tones or music might throw a Vecna off balance. We also can't ignore the idea of a public warning system. WSQK could broadcast strange sightings, weather changes, or coded alerts to the townspeople who still think everything is normal. That could lead to some tense moments where Hawkins residents start realizing something's not right. If the station becomes a trusted voice for the town, it also becomes the perfect place for our characters to control the narrative. They could downplay certain events or send out messages that sound harmless but mean something entirely different to the group. And remember, in Hawkins, even the airwaves aren't safe. If the gang is using WSQK to fight back, there's no doubt that Vecna will find a way to use it too. And this is where Steve and Robin come in. If you notice, Steve and Robin have been an unlikely but perfect duo since Season 3. They've gone from slinging ice cream at Scoops Ahoy to running the VHS section at Family Video, all while surviving multiple upside-down attacks. It makes sense that they'd now take on something as unpredictable as hosting a live radio show. Putting them behind the mics keeps them central to the story, while allowing them to be parts of multiple threads. If Dustin, Nancy, or Eleven need to get a message out, Steve and Robin can handle it instantly without leaving their post. Their banter also gives the audience a breather. Stranger Things is at its best when it balances horror with humor, and no one delivers that better than these two. Between the tense monster scenes, the squawk could give us moments that remind us why we love these characters. It's also possible that their on-air time could lead to something big. Fans are already theorizing they might accidentally stumble onto a strange broadcast, maybe an upside-down signal bleeding into their frequency. That discovery could be the first clue to Vecna's next move. Steve and Robin have a history of turning accidents into breakthroughs. In Season 3, their curiosity and persistence cracked the Russian code. Season 5 might put them in a similar situation, only this time the stakes are even higher. It's a smart move from a storytelling perspective. The audience gets humor, plot progression, and character development all in one location. But there's another twist to this. If WSQK really does become a weapon against Vecna, it's going to draw attention. I mean, the bad kind. That sleek radio tower could be more than just a landmark. It could be a target. The Upside Down has a way of striking exactly where it hurts. The trailers already show stormy skies and unsettling energy around the tower. That could mean Vecna is aware of what's happening inside. inside. If he can't control the station, he might try to destroy it. Imagine the tension of Steve and Robin are trapped inside the studio, while creatures from the Upside Down swarm the building. It could be one of those claustrophobic all-hands-on-deck sequences, where the rest of the group races to help them. There's also the possibility of the signal itself becoming dangerous. If the Upside Down can send its influence through sound, then every broadcast is a risk. One wrong moment on air and something terrifying could slip through. We've already seen Vecna manipulate visions and voices. If he hijacks the frequency, the entire town could hear something they shouldn't, or worse, something that draws them toward him. The station could end up being as much a liability as it is a weapon, which makes its presence in the story even more tense. So let's tie this up. Season 5 takes place in fall 1987, a year after the earthquake that tore Hawkins apart. The breach to the Upside Down is still wide open, which means the danger is constant. The Duffers have been clear. There's no reset button this time. That makes WSQK a perfect fit for the survival mode the town is in. It's not just about finding Vecna, it's about keeping people alive while they work out a permanent solution. The station could be the heart of that plan, connecting allies and sharing information. Hawkins is smaller than most towns, which means one well-placed broadcast can reach nearly everyone. If they can get the right songs, warnings, or instructions on air, they could save lives without even leaving the studio. At the same time, this gives the group a way to coordinate with anyone who's not in Hawkins. The breach could pull in threats from other places, so having an instant way to communicate is huge. The use of radio also fits perfectly with Stranger Things' mix of sci-fi and 80s nostalgia. It's a technology that's simple, familiar, and easy for the audience to understand, while still being full of creative possibilities for the writers. And in a season where the stakes are like the highest they've ever been, having a centralized, vulnerable, and an important location like WSQK adds tension to every episode. But beneath all the action, WSQK could also have an emotional role. Radio is a symbol of connection, a way to reach people you can't see and maybe can't even get to in person. In a town split by fear and danger, that kind of connection matters. It's easy to imagine a moment where a song played on WSQK saves someone from Vecna's control, just like Max in Season 4. The emotional weight of hearing a familiar voice or song at the right moment could be huge. It could even tie back to Will's connection to music in Season 1, with Should I Stay or Should I Go acting as his lifeline. Stranger Things loves to bring past moments full circle, and WSQK gives them a perfect way to do that. So whether it's blasting Hawkins' favorite songs or sending out coded messages, WSQK isn't just background noise. It has the potential to be the loudest and most important weapon our heroes have in Season 5. So the real question now is, will WSQK save Hawkins, or will Vecna find a way to turn it against them? And what do you think it'll be used for first? Music, secret codes, or something even stranger? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed our analysis, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to receive fresh new Stranger Things theories and content. See you in the next video.